Soy Soy is packing her bags to head back to Mojo. She wants to personally investigate the shady corporate background of Giorgio Natelier and Muyu. Yang Yang catches her sneaking out, leading to a super wholesome farewell before they split up. The squad agrees to divide and conquer the situation. While Soy Soy tackles the corporate espionage angle back in Mojo, Rover and Yang Yang are tasked with hunting down the missing sentinel. They plan to search the mysterious Fogville Pagoda. Soy Soy drops a highly emotional goodbye, demanding that Rover keep Yang Yang safe while she is gone. The found family vibes are off the charts as she vanishes, leaving a quiet, slightly sad atmosphere behind her in the wake of her departure. A hauntingly beautiful tune plays in the background, making Rover pause. The music feels incredibly expectant, almost like whoever is playing it is waiting for something important to happen. It perfectly sets the tone for the upcoming wild adventure. Up on a freezing mountain, Paragon Qingxiao is chatting with a transcendent entity. She formally accepts the heavy burden of protecting Schwanfong Hold if disaster strikes. She is totally locked in and ready for duty. Qingxiao promises to raise her sword for the people, accepting the ultimate authority to step in if the tide becomes irreversible. Her dedication to the city is honestly inspiring, proving she is a top-tier protector. Rover, Yang Yang, and Abby finally wake up to realize Soy Soy has already hit the road. With the team slightly smaller, they pivot their focus and start marching straight toward the creepy ruins of Fogville Pagoda to find new clues. Arriving at the pagoda, the squad runs right into Qingxiao. Since wandering alone through heavily corrupted ruins is just terrible strategy, they decide to team up. Having a legendary swordmaster in the party is a huge upgrade. Qingxiao mentions that a previous encounter involving Soy Soy and the Sentinel took place in a hidden chamber nearby. They realize they are all basically chasing the exact same clues, so sticking together just makes perfect sense. While exploring, Abby randomly sniffs out a weird coin pendant left behind by an informant known as the Cat of the Netherland. They realize this shady dude definitely planted it there on purpose as a cryptic puzzle piece. With zero other leads to chase inside the pagoda, the crew decides to head over to Xiangling village. They need to figure out the cultural meaning behind the copper coin before the trail goes cold and they lose momentum. The local villagers are helpful but entirely gossipy. They reveal that the coin is carried by Nethermancers, a group of edgy prospectors who dive into dangerous Mirage Realms. People think they are thieves, but it is way more complicated. Hi there. If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support really helps the channel. An older villager starts yapping about how Qingxiao is basically a legendary immortal who has been around for centuries. It is a crazy lore drop that proves the Paragon is way older and more powerful than she looks. Granny Yenshu spills the actual tea on Nethermancers. She explains her late husband was one, and she adopted a wild kid named Jing Ran who took up the trade. It becomes obvious that Jing Ran is their mysterious informant. Out of nowhere, a swarm of Taysate discords attacks the village. A critical defense court shuts down, sending everyone into an absolute panic. Qingxiao and Rover jump into action to evacuate the innocent civilians to safety. After a chaotic fight, the team successfully escorts all the villagers to the Ministry of War. It was incredibly stressful, but nobody got left behind. Abby even brags about snatching a kid right out of a monster's path. Inside the ministry, they find a young soldier who is heavily injured from taking hits meant for the civilians. Qingxiao uses a calming quietude art to help him sleep, showing she has a soft spot beneath her tough exterior. Things are looking grim. Commander Cho confirms that all the auto-puppets have flatlined and the main gates are failing. The team deduces that Muyu must have breached the sanctum, which is the main control center for the city. Going into the sanctum is technically against the rules without the sentinel giving permission, but they literally do not have a choice. They decide to rest up and prepare to storm the center of the city at the crack of dawn. Late at night, Rover finds Qingxiao playing some sad music. She shares a piece of her sword, intent with them. It is a protective aura that shows how deeply she cares about keeping her friends breathing during this mess. Qingxiao struggles with the weight of her responsibilities. She hates seeing the fragile human wardens throw their lives away to protect the city. She is burdened by the impossible choices she has to make as a leader. Morning breaks, and it is finally time to lock in. Rover and Qingxiao head straight for the sanctum, while Yang Yang and the wardens stay behind to hold the defensive line. The stakes have never been higher for the city. The front door of the sanctum is sealed shut. Luckily, the weird coin pendant reacts to Rover and opens a secret Mirage Realm side entrance. The informant clearly planned this out so they could sneak in without bringing the house down. They briefly cross paths with the Cat of the Netherland inside the foggy passage. He throws a quick combat test their way to see if they are capable. After realizing they are legit, he dips out before blowing his cover. Suddenly, the world shifts and they fall out of the sky into a valley. The prism of fate triggered some kind of dimensional warp. Everything around them looks like a warped, historical version of the city from 2 centuries ago. The villagers in this strange realm talk about the ancient fortress and gorges war, like they easily won it using advanced cloud shuttles. Qingxiao realizes this is a fake timeline where the city never suffered any tragic losses. The mountain gate to the fortress is closed for repairs. The duo realizes this fake historical realm is detailed and not just a simple illusion. They have to find another way around to uncover whoever is pulling the strings. They encounter a quirky auto-puppet named JD. He tells them that if they want to find the source of this crazy illusion, they need to fly up to the Lightway and reach the higher levels of the sky barrier. Since normal flying is banned in this realm, Qingxiao decides to teach Rover how to ride a flying sword. It is a cool flex of pure martial arts skill, and Rover picks up the technique surprisingly fast for a beginner. Up in the clouds, they meet some artisans who are yapping about a generous transcendent who taught them flawless mechanical arts. It is painfully obvious they are talking about Muyu, who is playing God in this fake historical sandbox. The auto-puppets suddenly turn hostile and start attacking them. Rover and Qingxiao have to slice their way through the mechanical guards. The human artisans just stand there unfazed, looking like zombies with zero survival instincts. It turns out Muyu scrubbed away all the emotions from the artisans to make them perfect cogs in his machine. Qingxiao is disgusted by this gross violation of humanity. A city without feelings is just a giant mechanical graveyard. A holographic projection of Muyu shows up to yap about his flawless design. He claims this emotionless city is exactly what Schwanfong should have been. Qingxiao shuts him down, calling him a coward hiding behind his sick experiments. After smashing Muyu's trap, JD returns to explain that the realm is split into different levels. They are currently in the lower zone, and they need to keep ascending if they want to punch the creepy villain right in his face. Meanwhile, back in the real world, things are getting sketchy. A massive wave of monsters is swarming the city. Yang Yang and the remaining wardens stand their ground, refusing to let the defensive line crumble while their friends are away. Rover and Qingxiao continue their ascent through the cloudy cliffs of the Mirage Realm. They keep finding wrecked shuttles scattered everywhere, proving that Muyu is completely lying about his mechanical paradise being perfectly structured and free of any major flaws. Jingran is hanging out with Muyu, pretending to be on his side. He discovers that Muyu is harvesting the lingering souls of dead people to power his creepy machines. It is highly unethical and deeply messed up on every level. Rover and Qingxiao stumble upon some auto-puppets that can actually talk. They realize these machines contain the trapped souls of people who died during the ancient war. Muyu is forcing them to exist in this weird mechanical purgatory. The heavy fog makes Qingxiao experience a painful memory. She sees an old friend named Royan saying goodbye right before dying in the historical war. The emotional weight of her past failures is clearly starting to take a toll on her. Qingxiao tells the confused, trapped souls that their past sacrifices actually secured 2 centuries of peace for the real world. Hearing this gives the ghostly auto-puppets a rare moment of comfort before they fade away into nothing. Muyu pops up again to gloat about achieving immortality by shoving souls into metal bodies. He mocks Qingxiao for caring about frail humans. He is convinced that stripping away humanity is the only way to achieve ultimate evolution. Rover realizes that Qingxiao is secretly overclocking her powers. She is burning all her energy to send a protective shield to the wardens fighting in the real world. She is literally carrying the entire city on her back right now. Despite barely being able to stand, Qingxiao refuses to drop the protective link to the outside world. She tells Rover that true strength comes from the people having the heart to protect each other. It is an emotional confession. Pushing herself way past her limits finally catches up to Qingxiao. Her mind cracks and her inner demon surfaces. Rover gets violently pulled into her mental landscape, which is basically a horrifying museum of all her deepest regrets. Inside the mental realm, Rover meets a lingering echo of Qingxiao's old master. The master explains that Qingxiao is fighting her own inner darkness. Rover refuses to let her suffer alone and steps up to help her carry the emotional burden. They are forced to relive the most traumatic moments of the ancient war. Qingxiao watches herself fail to save the people she cared about over and over again. It is a brutal cycle of guilt that her inner demon is using to break her spirit. Instead of trying to destroy her dark side, Qingxiao does something totally unexpected. She accepts her flaws, her emotions, and her mortal attachments. By embracing her humanity instead of pushing it away, she regains her power and snaps back to reality. Reawakened, Qingxiao explains that her sword was never meant to be a cold, unfeeling weapon. She is a protector who refuses to turn a blind eye to suffering. Her character development is beautiful and proves why she is the absolute best. Back in the physical Mirage Realm, they finally link up with Jingran. He drops his sneaky undercover act and officially joins the squad. They agree to team up to put a permanent end to Muyu and his unhinged science projects. The trio reaches the highest level of the realm. Muyu is hiding behind a warped mechanical barrier that looks completely impenetrable. They need to figure out a crazy plan to break through before the entire city outside collapses into ruin. A chaotic battle erupts across the flying shuttles. They have to fight off endless waves of aggressive auto-puppets while trying to stabilize the failing platforms. It is an absolute test of endurance, but their teamwork is honestly off the charts. After clearing the deck, JD reveals his big secret. He is actually a Celestial, one of the original human builders who sacrificed his body to become part of the city mainframe. He has been silently watching over the people for centuries. Sentinel Sheen briefly speaks through JD, confirming that she is aware of the situation. She tasks Rover and Qingxiao with stopping Muyu's corruption. Knowing the Sentinel actually has their backs gives the team a massive boost of confidence. Jingran decides to pull the most reckless move ever. He hijacks a cloud shuttle and rams it straight into Muyu's defensive barrier. The impact creates a tiny opening, allowing Rover and Qingxiao to slip through to the final boss room. Inside the core, they find Muyu's original human body discarded on the floor like trash. He has transferred his consciousness into a terrifying mechanical shell. He thinks he is a god now, but he honestly just looks like a giant metal bug. The final showdown kicks off. Muyu throws everything he has at them, determined to prove that his flawless logic beats human emotion. But Qingxiao and Rover are perfectly synced up, slicing through his attacks with raw determination. Muyu tries to trigger a total collapse of the realm to wipe them out. Qingxiao makes a huge sacrifice play, using her own energy to hold up the falling sky so Rover can deliver the decisive blow to the core. Channeling the shared hopes and massive willpower of every single person defending the city outside, Rover unleashes an unbelievable heavy strike called Sky Break. The epic attack completely shatters the darkness and entirely purges the lingering corruption from the massive mechanical mainframe. With the corruption cleared, Sentinel Sheen steps in to clean up the remaining mess. The auto-puppets return to normal, the barrier holds, and the city is officially saved. The squad clutched the victory against literally impossible odds. The people in the real world celebrate as the ominous clouds clear away. Peace returns to the streets, and everyone can finally take a deep breath of relief. The heroes return in triumph after securing the hardest win of their lives. Regrouping at the ministry, Soy Soy returns with hot intel. She confirms Muyu was a rogue genius who abandoned the atelier decades ago. The team pieces together the deep lore and realizes they just prevented a major corporate technology disaster. Rover visits Qingxiao at her newly repaired training hall. She reveals her plan to open a martial arts school so the local people can learn to protect themselves. In a super wholesome moment, she officially asks Rover to be her first disciple. To celebrate making it official, they go out for an initiation feast. They eat an ancient fish dish that tastes incredibly sour, but holds deep historical meaning. It is the perfect cozy vibe after spending the entire day fighting for their lives. Rover heads out to the woods to check on Jingran. The Nethermancer is sitting by the empty graves he built for his parents long ago. He is totally pretending to be fine, but you can tell he is emotional about finally getting closure. In a super hype flashback, we see Jingran completely dunking on Muyu's escaping spirit. He snatches the valuable data core right out of his hands and secures the win. He passes the core to the good guys, proving he is an absolute legend. Gaming lore is long and confusing, but I break it down every week. Subscribe so you never miss a plot twist or hidden detail. Thanks for watching.